Moving on now, Wednesdays here on the program, we like to put the spotlight on the farm women's group, Common Ground.
Common Ground is a group of farm women who want to be a resource for consumers who want to know more about how their food is grown. So joining us now is Darcie Gallagher from the Plymouth, Nebraska area. Nice to have you here today, Darcie.
Good morning. It's good to be here.
Yeah, so I know you like to garden.
Yep.
You're probably getting anxious, right, with the warm weather, but
Yep.
I know this weekend's going to be a little bit chilly. So what should people know before they start a garden?
Yeah, so that's a good thing to ask yourself. You know, what are your goals for the year? What kind of garden do you want to grow? Do you want to grow flowers? Do you want to grow vegetables? Do you want to grow herbs? Or maybe a mixture of all of them? Start from there, and then you can build the foundation to have a successful garden throughout the rest of the summer.
I know sometimes you think about sun, shade, location. Is that kind of a thing to think about?
Yeah, absolutely. So you definitely want to consider 6 to 8 hours for full sun with a regular vegetable garden. Other annuals or things that you want to grow flowers, and you can consider some of those part shade or full shade as well.
Okay, people are probably planning right now and getting anxious to get out there. What can people do right now before they really start planting, probably in May?
Yep. So I think after we get past these cooler temperatures this weekend, it's going to be go time, so to speak. But you really consider, do you want to grow seeds or do you start with plants? So I've had tomatoes going since January. So I always start with plants. Seeds are kind of a little bit tougher. But throughout the rest of the summer, it kind of just depends on, well, do I want to do seeds? Do I want to start from there? All flowers, I typically, for my pots around the house, are always plant starts. Yeah.
What's the benefit of, starting something as a seed versus already having a plant?
So it's definitely timing, and back to the goals. What do you want to accomplish? How fast do you want to harvest it? And, what are you going to do with it at the end of the day? Are you going to freeze it? Are you going to can it? Are you going to keep it and just eat it fresh? And you can decide from there.
All right, let's say, folks live in town, live in the city like here in Lincoln. You can still have a garden. You could do container gardening or just maybe have a small area, right? Like with a raised bed.
Yep, absolutely. I think you can definitely simplify it as well. Even simple mineral tubs. Tomatoes are something that you can buy from your local retail store. And then you can get a lot out of them throughout the rest of the year. And with consumers and prices of food right now, you can definitely make that budget friendly.
Yeah, so what else should we know? Is there anything else, maybe the number one thing we ought to know about gardening as we head toward the season?
Start small and be patient. Go in with a plan, but you can really have a successful year if you're planning appropriately.
Don't try to do too much.
Don't do too much. Right.
That sounds,
Do you have some things outside right now, like maybe spinach or?
I started potatoes and onions. Good Friday is kind of the rule of thumb for those. I was doing a fencing project through that, so I wasn't able to get them in on Good Friday, but got them in the next week. So they're a little more cold hardy.
Okay.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
All right, and you're sticking around. You have a recipe to share today.
Yep, we're doing a ranch dip. Kind of in that same theme.
Looking forward to it. All right, thanks.
Thank you,